to be back. It's good to be back. Let's hear it for Allie. For that introduction and the great lineup of entertainers you've had. You're probably disappointed hearing us speaking. We'll get the entertainers back on here. And let's hear it for Stacey Abrams. Nobody in America has done more for the right to vote than Stacey. Stacey, you're changing Georgia. You've changed America. And I want to personally thank you again. So let's hear it for the next Public Service Commissioner, Daniel Blackman. I don't know where Daniel is, but I know he's here. Look, and one of the best mayors America has, and my good friend, Keisha Lance Bottoms. If I had three of her, I could rule the world. I love her, I tell you. And let's hear it for the next United States Senator, Jon Ossoff, and the Reverend Warner. I'm just talking to them in the back. They're talented. They're principled. They're qualified. They're decent. They're honorable. They mean what they say, and they believe what I believe the definition of America is. It's about possibilities, unlike any other nation in the world. Anything's possible. They're bending the arc of history toward justice and hope and progress. And that's not hyperbole, that's real. Folks, this is it. This is it. It's a new year. And tomorrow can be a new day for Atlanta, for Georgia, and for America. First, let me start by saying thank you for electing me and Kamala as President and Vice President of the United States. You voted in record numbers in November. Your voices were heard, your votes were counted. The will of the people prevailed. We won 3 times here. Each recount, you know what I mean? I think we should count it as 3 states. Won 3 times. And now, we need you to vote again in record numbers. To make your voices heard again and again, to change Georgia, to change America again. And this is not an exaggeration. Georgia, the whole nation is looking to you to lead us forward, for real. You know it. You cannot turn on any national television show without knowing about what's going on here and what you all are doing. The power is literally in your hands. Unlike any time in my career, one state can chart the course, not just for the next 4 years, but for the next generation. By electing Jon and the Reverend, you can make an immediate difference in your own lives, the lives of the people all across this country, because their election will put an end to the block in Washington, that $2,000 stimulus check, that money that will go out the door immediately to help people who are in real trouble. Think about what it'll mean to your lives. Putting food on the table, paying rent, paying your mortgage, paying down the credit card, paying the phone bill, the gas bill, the electric bill. Just look around. Millions of people in this country out of work through no fault of their own. No fault of their own. They're struggling. Many are fearful, and many have given up hope. Look at the lines at food banks. Hours and hours and hours. This is the United States of America, for God's sake. And their food lines, like we've not seen since the Depression. And they're getting longer. Families, children, people have worked their whole lives and never asked for a thing except a fighting chance. Now, they're lining up for food in America. And the debate over $2,000 isn't some abstract debate in Washington. It's about real lives, your lives, the lives of good, hard-working Americans. And if you're like millions of Americans all across this country, you need the money, you need the help, and you need it now. Look, Georgia, there's no one in America with more power to make that happen than you, the citizens of Atlanta, the citizens of Georgia. And that's not an exaggeration. That is that's literally true. If you send John and the Reverend to Washington, those $2,000 checks will go out the door, restoring hope and decency and honor for so many people who are struggling right now. And if you send Senators Perdue and Loeffler back to Washington, those checks will never get there. It's just that simple. The power is literally in your hands. By electing John and the Reverend, you can break the gridlock that has gripped Washington and this nation. With their votes in the Senate, we'll be able to make the progress we need to make on jobs, on health care, on justice, on the environment, on so many important things. By electing John and the Reverend, you'll be voting to get the states the resources they need to get the vaccines distributed. It's a shame what's happening now. It's a literal shame. I've said it before, getting America vaccinated will be one of the most difficult operational challenges this nation has ever faced, but we've known it for the last months. This administration has gotten off to a god-awful start. The president spends more time whining and complaining than doing something about the problem. I don't know why he still wants the job. He doesn't want to do the work. Look, the states need help. There's a reason why the Constitution said the federal government could have a deficit spending in times of crisis, and states have to balance their budgets. It's for this very thing. It's the whole idea. Your states have to balance your budgets. So what's happening? You're going to see more and more people laid off, more firefighters, police officers, school teachers, first responders, the people we need badly now. The states need more money to do the job. They need the federal government to work with them, not attack them and leave them out there hanging. It's going to be tough to get this done, but we have to do it. People's lives literally depend on it. Our economy depends on it. And we'll get it done by electing John and the Reverend to be voting to get their state and local government funding and the money they need to keep cops, firefighters, teachers, local responders, keep them on the job, protecting you, looking out for your children. Look, states have been struggling through this pandemic. They need help. By electing John and the Reverend, you'll be sending a powerful message to Congress and to the country that it's time for this nation, for God's sake, to finally come together. Finally. To work together, to unite, to put the anger and the division and the divisive politics of the past behind us. And here's one more thing. Voting for John and the Reverend won't just be good for America, it'll be good for Georgia. And here's why. When you vote for John and Raphael, you'll be sending two senators who will fight for you, who put Georgia first, who put you first. You don't have that now. You have two senators who think it's more important to reward wealth than hard work in the tax system. You have two senators now who think they don't work for you, they work for Trump. I mean, think about it. You have two senators who think their loyalty is to Trump, not to Georgia. You have two senators who think they've sworn an oath to Donald Trump, not to the United States Constitution. But let me tell you something. I got elected when I was 29 years old and 6 more times the United States Senate from Delaware, and guess what? Not once did I think I took an oath to any president, Democrat or Republican. I took an oath to the United States Constitution. And as president, I don't believe your United States senators are going to work for me. They work for the people of Georgia. That's why I'm not asking your senators to be loyal to me. I believe they should be loyal to you, to Georgia, the United States Constitution, period. And if you vote for John and the Reverend, that's what you're going to get. Decent, honorable men. They won't put a president or party first. and they sure won't put themselves first. They know public service is about you. It isn't about them. It's not about enriching themselves. It's about making people's lives better, about giving people a chance. Just an even shot, no guarantee, but an even shot. It's time to start rewarding work and not wealth. And if you listen to John and the Reverend, that's what they've been saying. That's what they've been campaigning on. Look, I'm dealing with COVID. I'm revitalizing our economy, our health care, our voting rights, criminal justice, racial justice, climate change, on the things that matter and will make a difference in your lives and the lives of your families. Georgia, as dark as these days of winter seem, I'm still more optimistic about this country than any time in my entire life. I really mean it. The American people now understand clearly what's at stake. And John and Rafael share that optimism. They saw firsthand the power of believing in the promise of America in our darkest months. John learned it from my old friend and yours, John Lewis. Reverend Warnock sees the power of faith to overcome the toughest trials that life can throw at us. He believes, as I do, in the quote of the German philosopher Kierkegaard, who said, "Faith sees best in the dark." I know they share with me that deep faith in the American people in this country, a faith that enables us to overcome adversity, to lift each other up, to be a beacon of light for one another and for the world. That's who we are, and that's what we should never give up on. Look, folks, I've said many times, and I'll say it here again, there's nothing, and I say this again, nothing this country is unable to do when we decide to do it together. We have faced tougher times before, and we've always overcome. We've always overcome. We've always come out better than we went in, no matter what. I know this campaign has been exhausting. You put the hard work in over the last few years to get to this moment. It's been intense. It's been nonstop. But I'm asking you to give everything you've got one more day. One more day. And that one more day is not hyperbole. You can change America. So if you haven't voted, vote. If you already voted, and I'm asking you one more day of making calls and safely knocking on doors. Go to iwillvote.com/GA to find your polling location. Just like you did in November. Vote, vote, vote. Vote for John and the Reverend. Folks, in America, as our opposition friends are finding out, all power flows from the people. From the people. That's our history. That's our law. That's our tradition. That's our Constitution. That's our democracy. Politicians cannot assert, take, or seize power. Power is given, granted by the American people alone. And we can never give that up. It's always, always the will of the people that must prevail. So today, tomorrow, vote. Make sure your voice is heard. Do it for yourselves. Do it for your families. Do it for your children. Do it for your state, your country. Do it for all those who've given up so much. Think of all those who've given up so much to secure that right. Do it for the country you love, because I know you love this country. And the future you want to build for everyone in this country. Do it for all those around the world who aspire, like us, to be free and a democratic people, who look to us. I've been in over almost 100 countries. They all look to America. The power is in your hands. John and Reverend Warnock are counting on you. So is Kamala, so am I, and so is America. We're a nation built on honor, decency, dignity, and respect. America is and must continue to be a beacon of light, liberty, and democracy and unity. That's who we are. That's the United States of America. Vote, 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 vote. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.